Hey, Vinny Valentino here, having a little fun with the Zoom G5n. Wanted to give you my take on this multi-effects pedal processor. Great pedal, really roadworthy, sturdy construction, very useful in many different ways, in many different situations, many setups. I can tell you about my setup right now. I have the direct outs going into the Zoom Q8 camera, which allows me to get a direct signal directly from the effects processor, so you can clearly hear the amp modeling and EQ, everything else that's going on. And I also have the output, the headphone output, going into a Vox hand-wired AC15 amplifier. So that's my setup here. And yeah, let me just run through some of the patches that I've programmed for this for you, so you get an idea of the way I use it. Probably my most useful patch is the first patch, which is basically called VV Standard RCD. And what that means is reverb, chorus, and delay. And it has a few things more than that. It's got the looper, which you heard me use in there, and it also has the wah-wah pedal, which you also heard. And basically, this kind of setup allows me to do everything I need to in my band, as well as with Vital Information. I'm the guitar player in Steve Smith and Vital Information, so it's got a nice full hall reverb, a subtle chorus, stereo chorus, and then some delay. Again, subtle delay mixed in just a little bit so you hear the ambience of it. And I can turn these on and off, that's without delay, as need be, almost always using some reverb. And you can hear the clarity and the depth of that hall reverb, and it's just a very simple patch that you can, I should say pedal, that you can program into the individual patch. And I'm using 5 different pedals for this particular patch. Scrolling through, this is just a standard auto wah type of. And it's called VV Funkster. That's my third patch. And then this is called Octive, or OCTIV, with an arrow pointing up. Which allows me to have an octave higher than the normal guitar. You might hear me play a Montuno with this. So, in case I need to sound like a tres, the Cuban tres. Okay, in the next patch I have, it's a distortion, but distortion added with the volume pedal. This has the regular chorus, delay, as I step on the pedal, patch 6, you can hear, has some attitude with it. It's just I call it Nast Sust distortion with It just lasts forever as far as the sustain goes. So if you want to play the Star Spangled Banner and get that kind of stadium type of distortion, and then again with the pedal, you can bring the octave in there. And you can hear that mostly the patch number 7, bringing in 8 TV. Patch number 8. Same thing, I just add a looper to this patch. So you could set up a quick loop. Obviously something that you may not use all the time. Patch number 10, called Stringy. This is a patch that's just called Out V11, and you kind of get the idea. Maybe not something you're going to use every day, but cool nonetheless. This patch is just called BoutDaBass, patch number 12, and you hear it. This one I just call rhythm section because it has that rhythm section for looping and playing around with different things. Let me check and see what it's got here. Okay, so with that, I'm going to lay down a quick bass line for the looper. And then number 14 is called V's Lesley. And basically, you can add that Lesley effect to any patch. You can do the same thing that a Hammond B3 player can with the real Lesley. Patch 15 I call Jimi Stock. Should be kind of his cleaner sound with a wah-wah. Patch 16 is kind of a tribute to my friend Mike Stern, called Hey Mikey, with the amp modeling of a Fender Twin and the Fender Twin cabinet with a stereo chorus, 2 different types of delays, actually 3 different types of delays with a modulating delay. And again, John Scofield, also an influence of mine, uses an AC30 most of the time, and so I've modeled that AC30, the Vox AC30. And the other thing about Scofield's kind of signature sound is you can add gain by adding volume to it. So, and that adds... So you can go from kind of a clean sound to more distortion. Patch 18 is called Miola plus Vibe. So kind of like that mid-rangey Al Di Meola sound that you get out of a Mesa Boogie modeling with a vibe verb. In patch number 19, Octive gives you that Black Keys sound. And in patch 20, called Walk This Way, is self-explanatory. And finally, my first patch, and the one that's probably most useful to me, is just called Werb Jazz, which is kind of like my standard sound for most of my gigs. It's a subtle, lush reverb. Great for single lines and then chordal. There you have it, Zoom G5n. Thanks very much for checking it out, and we'll see you at the gig.